fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series, Moff Gideon, as he appears in Season 3 of The Mandalorian, a overhated season in my opinion. I don't get how Jack Black being there for 2 seconds ruined 8 episodes, but I really like it, and I really like Moff Gideon's appearance in it, so this is a figure I've been waiting for a long time. Plus, who doesn't love Giancarlo Esposito no matter what he's in? So, this is a new figure. This is showing up on a shipper that's popping up at Walmart's in the newest wave, and it is just a long-awaited one that I'm super happy to finally have on the table. Was able to get it at Walmart myself, so go check your Walmarts if you're looking for it. Let's go ahead and get into it, see what we're getting here, and review this long-awaited addition to the collection. Here's Moff Gideon in the packaging. This is your standard Black Series packaging that we've seen a million times before, so probably not going to shock you of anything on it, but there's a Black Series logo above a big window showing Gideon and his accessories off nicely. Star Wars The Mandalorian across the front in orange, and then his name in orange over there, Dark Trooper Armor number 44. Warning 4 Plus Hasbro. This side features some cool artwork of Gideon holding his Electro staff and then his name at the bottom. This side features wraparound window, wraparound stripe, and a Black Series logo. Around back, you get a zoom in of that side art, Black Series logo again, and then a bio about Gideon in varying languages. Pause and read whichever best applies to you. Again, number 44 in the Mando line, bunch of legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, barcode, more legal stuff you've seen before a million times, and a hanger tab up top. Very standard action figure packaging, not a lot to write home about here. Let's open them up and see what you get here. So here's Moff Gideon out of the packaging, and as always, we're going to start by taking a look at the accessories, which he comes with a few of, I'm really happy about. So, for starters, he comes with his pistol. I believe this to be the same sculpt as we had on the first one, which is just fine. It is cast in a dark gray, almost black, but it is gray plastic, and yeah, no paint to be seen on it anywhere. He features a working hip holster. You have to unpeg the strap, push it in, and then repeg the strap. Goes very, very easily, and yeah, it looks good. Then he has two versions of his staff. He has the collapsed version where you see the point on the end and the silver bottom and the black handle, and in the show, you know, when he pushes a button, it blows up into a full-blown staff. So yeah, it's a painted dark gray, almost black, but that's not the plastic color, that's just the paint here. It's just, I can't quite call that black. It's not quite black, but looks like black paint on light gray plastic, you know, so maybe it was black paint in the jar. But yeah, nice accessory. Here's the blowed up version. It's in a kind of silvery light gray plastic. Kind of feel like they probably could have picked something a little more metal looking, but it is what it is. You see some of that black from the handle, another portion of the black from the handle, like before it telescoped out. And you actually do have little ridges where the telescoping would have happened, so that's really neat. Here's the kind of bladed end. Has a purple energy effect. I believe this to be the same piece we've seen with the Magna Guard staff, so it actually just unclips. There's a kind of a seam in it of sorts where you can push it on, and then you can slide it up and down. I like to kind of nestle it, kind of where the kind of bladed end is. I feel like that's the damage end. So yeah, that looks pretty good, and of course he can hold it in his hands fairly well. It's nice and secure, so I do like that. Then he comes with kind of a helmet, or kind of an accessory, but an important one. Definitely is a helmet, not kind of a helmet, but he comes with this helmet, nice glossy black with the kind of purpley, like maroon red visor, and then some bright red going on the cheeks. Looks really, really good. Got the 5 sculpted horns up top, looking amazing, and it's just a really great looking sculpt. So it has that little gap in the front underneath where just the chin, literally the cheeks, you know, come way down, and when you push it onto the head, like so, you don't see the chin. I know that's something where you get them actually lined up with it. The chin stays under there, but you definitely see the neck going on in there. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a peak. I know that really absolutely ruins it for some people. I don't care. It's a $20 toy I found on the shelf at Walmart, you know, or $25 toy I found at Walmart. So anyway, we're going to set that off to the side, and we're going to start by taking a look at the likeness here. The Giancarlo Esposito likeness is actually really good. I gotta say, I do like how it turned out. I was a fan of the old figure. I'm totally blanking on where my original one is, but here's the carbonized. I mean, I was a fan. I thought it was okay, but seeing this is just way better. Yeah, it was always, the old one was always maybe just a little too skinny, but this one, I mean, just the likeness is pretty good. Makes me kind of wish that he had the mustache in season 3. I'd probably pick up a duplicate for a head swap. But yeah, I do like that likeness. That's a pretty good Giancarlo. The skin tone is just pretty dead on. I like the sculpting of the hair. The eyes look pretty good. Something about it almost makes me think that it's not photoreal, that it's painted, but like if it is just painted and not photoreal, it's a pretty dang good paint job, so it's probably photoreal. But yeah, it looks really good. Just looks like the guy. Might be a little light on the paint and the hair over his ear there. That's unfortunate. I think he did the same thing here too. Might be on purpose. I don't know. But it's kind of consistent and around the bottom of the back of the hairline too. But yeah, I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. I'm okay with it. I like how this head sculpt turned out. Working down the body, he is very glossy. This is going to be a dust and fingerprint magnet. So he has the Dark Trooper, is it Mark III or Mark IV at this point, armor. And it just looks oh so good. Has some Mandalorian inspired additions we'll try to point out, as I notice sometimes go through. The diamond in the center of the chest is one there, and yeah, that's he definitely has a culture that he wants to adopt as much as he can from. Looks really good though, and then he has the 2 lines there with a couple of illuminated red dots. Those are really good, and yeah, he just looks excellent. There's it's a somewhat more matte paint for the bodysuit underneath, and it's got the lines in it like you'd see on Stormtrooper and Clone Trooper armor. Kind of a matte abdomen area going on here, which we'll talk about in Articulation. There's some cool stuff going on there. And yeah, he just looks good. Looks like what I remember seeing in the show. Working down, you have the thigh plates, they wrap around, of course. The knee pads feature the dart launchers on the sides, which is just really cool. And yeah, he looks pretty good. Looks like his boots have little lifts on the heel there. Dude wants to look a little taller, a little more imposing when he's, in the Dark Trooper armor. So that's neat. He has a soft goods cape, which actually lays pretty good. It's tacked in there and there. Kind of flares up a little bit before it goes down, but it is what it is. It's red on this side, it's black on the other side, and it's like one thin layer of material. So I like how it's not super thick like the General Grievous cape is 2 layers sewn together. They managed to make it just one sheet and kind of lays pretty nice. I mean, it's, it just lays. It just goes down. It doesn't do anything more dynamic than that, but that's all I really want in a soft goods cape. Features a really nice jetpack. It's a unique sculpt, unique just to him. I thought for sure, I didn't pay super close attention in the show, I guess. I thought it'd be like what the Armored Commando had, but nope, it is actually a unique design to Gideon. So that's a really cool sculpt. Has some buttons, red over there, and then a red and white over there. And yeah, little vents for the thrust to come out. And he's just a really cool looking figure. I like the red on the belt too. Just a lot of cool stuff going on here. So I can't really knock anything here. Like sculpt wise, it looks just like he does in the show. Can't knock it. So to run through some articulation, this is very much a standard modern 2025 figure. So he features the double ball bell neck, allowing him to look that far up, which is okay. Some have done better. Some have done worse. With the helmet on, you get it on. That's about what you do with the helmet. It's all right. He can bring his chin down, to his chest when he's wearing the helmet, or helmet off. That's okay. And then, of course, you can get your pivot and side to side going on. His arms can come up to a T-pose. They can even go higher than a T-pose. That's not a lot of figures can do that. There's a pretty good butterfly joint in there underneath of the tunic overlay, or the chest overlay, 360 degrees at the shoulders, and the shoulder pads are on the pinned, ring, which a lot of shoulder pads are these days, which really works well for the figure. Single jointed elbows, go a little past 90, swivel at the elbow, and then the wrists are these ball joint wrists, so they go up and down and in and out and all around and anything you want, and there's no gapping anywhere, which is good. Sometimes you kind of see in there and you see the post, so no gapping. So he actually features 2 ab crunches, like a mid-torso and then a waist, which is really cool. So you can get him to crunch that far forward, which is pretty good, and then all the way back. That's pretty ridiculously good. There's something going on. I don't know if it's like a detent or something, but it seems like, you have like some sculpted line work in the abdomen. It just seems like it wants to be a little to the left or a little to the right of center. It doesn't seem to want to just sit on center. So that's slightly annoying, especially when you start to move the upper one. It just pulls the bottom one, and it's like, come on. Like, I kind of, you don't want it to be loose, but I mean, it's like he's too tight, So from there, he features the ball-jointed hips, which allow him to kick that far forward. It's not the best, but I've seen worse, and given he's in a power suit, I'll forgive it. He can go that far back. That's better than a lot of figures can do. And he can do a true splits, which is nice. There's no upper thigh cut. You just get a tiny bit of pivot on the ball joint there. Doesn't bother me one bit. And then you get the single-jointed knees that go to 90 degrees. You can swing it at the knee, and that's where you just get that point of articulation, so it works out. His feet can point basically straight down. They can go that far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, which allows him to get some decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. And yeah, just all in all, it's like any other figure in the line these days. You kind of know what you're getting here. We'll stick the helmet on him first. We'll do a couple of size comparisons. Here is the Glavis Ringworld Mando. Here is Bo-Katan with a custom shoulder pad. I don't know where that came from. I believe Commander Cook gave it to me. I don't know where he got it from, though. There is a armored commando and a stormtrooper. As you see, Gideon, even with those lifts in the boots, is still the shortest guy here. He's Giancarlo's not a super tall guy to begin with, but that's okay. Take the helmet off, just gave you that version too. So yeah, it just is what it is. He's a little shorter, but I believe that to be actually accurate. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the new Moff Gideon figure? I think he's pretty cool. Personal opinion, I think that the Imperial officer, like Moff outfit from the prior seasons is his better appearance. I think of it as, when I think of Moff Gideon, I don't think of the power armor. But I do like how this action figure turned out. I think it's a good representation of what we see in Season 3, and I do like Season 3, so it's a version of the character that I wanted to get on the shelf, and I'm very happy to have it. I'm kind of in the camp that thinks that this was actually a clone of Gideon all along, and we'll see him again someday. You cannot give me an episode that introduces Gideon clones, have him appear with his mustache shaved off, and then die, and then have me believe that there isn't an opportunity for return there. Gideon's coming back somewhere, some way, someday. I'm just calling it now. You don't waste an actor like Giancarlo like that. But I'm really, really excited for his inevitable return. I do believe it to be coming. And I think that this is just a good action figure and a good representation of what we see at this point in the show. And I like it. I highly recommend it. I think that if it's anything that's interesting you in any way, you should go and track it down for yourself. It's a pretty good addition to the Mandalorian shelf. And yeah, I'm happy with it. That's all for now. Thanks a bunch for watching. Means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. You know the drill. You've watched a YouTube video before. Or maybe it's your first, in which case there's some directions, and I hope you follow them. So I'm going to go work on another video. Until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.